Hey everybody, thanks for joining us here on this Wednesday on 9 News Watch. I'm meteorologist Chris Bianchi with a detailed look at your Colorado weather forecast, which unfortunately we just cannot get rid of this wind. We can't really get any meaningful moisture in the eastern part of Colorado, but the good news is for our friends in the mountains, we are seeing some pretty decent snow up that way, though that does wind on down later on this afternoon and this evening. Now here in Denver, the big story today, it is cold, and in fact look at this. In Denver this morning, it got down to 10 degrees, the coldest temperature this late in the winter season since, get this, 1953. So for us to drop down to 10 degrees this late in the season, very unusual. That's probably going to have some impacts on those plants, even those trees. That vegetation is going to be impacted by temperatures this cold, this late in the season. You probably noticed those trees already starting to green on up. A lot of plants starting to blossom as well. Again, when it gets this cold, this late in the year, that does impact those, unfortunately. So the story for your day today, yeah, it is cold. There's a possibility for a few afternoon snow showers. Best chance will be in the foothills, but we're not expecting any accumulation anywhere near the immediate Denver area. And then it does start to finally warm back up again and feel a bit more like April starting tomorrow, but today it won't feel that way. In fact, in the mountains, look at this. We got snow ending, but winter weather advisories and winter storm warnings continue for another perhaps few inches of snow. If you're traveling on I-70 west of the Continental Divide, we are going to be looking at more snow for the rest of your day. It's also going to be accompanied by some pretty strong winds that could mean visibility will be on the low side, so careful if you're driving through the mountains today. Then, yet again today, we do have a red flag warning for much of southeastern Colorado and the San Luis Valley. Same old story here, folks. It's dry, it's windy, and unfortunately very dry. And that means that we are going to be looking at those increased fire danger concerns later on this afternoon. We had a few wildfires pop on up in the southeastern plains today, a few of those kind of fast-moving grass fires, including one just outside of La Junta. Unfortunately, that possibility will exist yet again for your day today. Again, here's part of the reason why it's still windy statewide. We're still talking about those gusts in some cases on up into the 40, 45 mile an hour range this afternoon and this evening. And once again, those winds will die back down tonight before they reinvigorate tomorrow afternoon. And that could lead some of those gusts perhaps getting on up into the 30 to 40 mile an hour range again for your day tomorrow. And that will also keep our fire danger high for today and tomorrow across much of eastern Colorado. The temperatures right now, we're stuck in the 30s and 40s on the eastern plains. We're typically in the low to mid 60s for this time of year for a high temperature. We won't get anywhere near that. Very winter-like look to these temperatures across the state here at 11 a.m., a little after 11 a.m. on a mid-April morning. So today, we do have the chance for a slight chance for a few snow showers here in the Denver area. I'm pretty skeptical that any of these snow showers do end up making it over the Continental Divide and making their way over the foothills. I'll show you that in more detail in just a second, but main story is don't worry so much about the snow. I would focus on those temperatures. It is still cold, it is still windy, so it is going to feel like the middle of January for your day today, despite the fact that, of course, it is the middle of April. In fact, 43 degrees is our coldest average high temperature of the year. So which, by the way, takes place in mid-December. That's normally our coolest time of the year here in Denver, and our high of 43 degrees would be our, again, high temperature on average in the middle of December, middle of January. So it's certainly feeling like winter here for your day today. Good news is this won't last all of that much longer, but we do have a few of those snow showers continuing for us into the mountains, especially I-70 on north, and we'll see those snow showers continue for the rest of your afternoon in the mountains. Question is, do we see anything down here into the Denver area? I'm pretty skeptical about that, but there's a chance that we do see a flake or two survive its trip over the mountains. Of course, we get these drying, downsloping winds off the mountains, so that's why it's very hard to get any of these snow showers when we got that westerly flow. It's very hard for these to really survive their way down to Denver at the surface. As mentioned, we've got red flag warnings throughout much of eastern Colorado. So at the surface, it's very, very dry. So snow showers aloft, way up there in the atmosphere, up where planes fly. We could see some snow falling from there, but then as those snow showers try and make the way down to the surface, they evaporate before they hit the ground. And long story short is what we end up with, what we'll probably end up with here in Denver today and this afternoon, a fair bit of cloud cover, but not a whole lot in the way of any snow showers. And again, we may see a few flakes in a few spots, best chance in the foothills, and that'll be it. That's really our lone chance for those snow showers will be in the kind of foothills this afternoon, and I don't think we're seeing any accumulation here in the immediate Denver area. Low temperatures tonight, again, a winter-like feel with a low of 20 for us here in Denver. Tomorrow, though, less wintry with a high temperature on up into the upper 50s. That's still below average. We're normally, again, low to mid 60s this time of year, but it should feel a bit better than today. We do have the possibility in the mountains for a few snow showers, especially north of I-70, and it'll be a little bit gusty for us at times. Those winds during the afternoon tomorrow, perhaps gusting on up into the 30-40 mile an hour range. I know, again, we just can't get rid of this wind, and we would love to see some moisture, but we do have at least some warmer temperatures to tell you about starting tomorrow, and then we'll be up into the 60s for your Friday, Saturday, and Sunday before mid-next week. We got a more substantial warm-up with temperatures back into the mid-70s by the middle of next week. And by the way, some of the computer forecast models for the end of next week spiking us into the 80s. In fact, one of the computer models has us in the mid to upper 80s by next Friday and Saturday. So if you're looking for some warmer weather, it's coming, probably, for the end of next week. But what we could really use here, Mother Nature, if you're watching, is some moisture, but there is just not that much to tell you about, unfortunately, over the next few days. We really, really are starting to need the moisture. We've only had a 1/100th of an inch of precipitation here in Denver this month. This is normally one of our wettest times of the year, so if we're going to stay this dry, starting to get to the point, I'll tell you what, I'm getting a little nervous about this prolonged dry stretch here in the Denver area. Well, that'll do it for my forecast. Meteorologist Keely Chalmers has more details coming up at 9 News at noon, and Chief Meteorologist Kathy Sabin is in at 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10 on the 9 News family of networks this afternoon and this evening. I'm Meteorologist Chris Bianchi. Stay safe and have a great rest of your day.